I'm here at Autosport International with Sam Brabham, who is a brilliant upcoming driver who you should all follow. So Sam, Happy New Year, and how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, Happy New Year to you too, and yeah, so it's a great event that we're here at the Autosport show.
Brilliant. Now, obviously, New Year's just started, so let's start with 2015. What are your plans and expectations for the season ahead?
The plan is to do LMP3. So we need to find the budget first and find the backing, but that's the plan. I think it's a really good place to start off with in sports cars. And for me, my goal obviously is to be a Formula 1 World Champion, but I'm realistic to know that it's not always going to work out that way, and I'd rather be a paid professional than get to GP2 and then have nothing. So yeah, but LMP3 is the plan, and we're working really hard to achieve that.
Okay, and for those people that don't know, obviously you had a bit of a unexpected season last year with an incident at Alton Park. So how have you used that incident to prepare for this season's racing?
Yeah, Alton Park was a bit of a low point. We had a massive shunt in race 2, and at first it was tough. I went to Croft and watched, and that was hard. But then I kind of realised, you know what, it's not the end of the world. I've still done a hell of a lot this year and proved that I can win, proved that I can be fast. So I just have to look forwards and take what I can out of not driving rather than get bummed out about it. And that helped me mature and become a bit, appreciate the opportunities that I had after that more. I drove a few cars for free, fortunately enough, and I appreciated the opportunity a hell of a lot more then than I would have done before.
Now, moving on to this brilliant Project Brabham situation that you've got going, just explain to everyone, what is Project Brabham?
So Project Brabham it's a new way of racing. The plan is to do LMP2 and WEC, and we're bringing back sort of the Brabham way of thinking. Jack was always very engineering, he was pioneering, he was innovative, and that's what we're trying to do here. And we're using Brabham Fan, Brabham Driver, Brabham Engineer apps and things online to encourage fans, one, not just to get involved with the project, but two, to learn more. The engineer and the driver packages are going to give people access into how to be a better driver, how to be an engineer, and how things work. It's not just for drivers and engineers. Fans can buy the packages too, and we're going to have live onboard videos. You can see team meetings. We're going to have we're going to try and get a camera on some mechanics, so when they're doing a pit stop changing the tyres, you'll be right there with everyone, and it's a journey. We wanted to start with the crowdfunding process to get people on board and to help people feel like they're a part of the journey, rather than as a fan you have your hat or your t-shirt and you go, I support that team. But now it's the principle of, okay, be a part of the team and be a part of that process, and everyone's really getting on board, which is fantastic.
Brilliant. And why obviously I know that your grandfather was part of it, but why did you particularly choose to do this when obviously you had so many other opportunities available to you?
For Dad, it was sports cars has been a massive part for him, and we needed a world platform, so we needed to go out, and because we've got 62 different countries who have contributed, from Australia to Alaska, and the idea was that we need somewhere. Formula 1 is very difficult to get into, and we would never have been able to achieve what we can achieve right now in Formula 1. So having been in sports cars for so long, he knows it inside out, he knows the cars, he knows how to drive them. Now it's time to put that one to practice and be a great team, and to go out to the World Endurance Championship, you go to all these amazing places. I think it's going to work perfectly.
And obviously you've all in your family had good training from your grandfather, but this could come across as controversial. Who would you say is the best driver in the family? And you are allowed to say yourself if you want to.
No, I think it's hard to kind of justify it, because Granddad obviously was a great driver, but equally so was Dad, so was Jeff and Gary, and myself and Matt are paving our careers. As far as best driver, I guess based on it's so hard to say, because in Grandad's era, it's hard to say, because if we all put everyone in the same series, the same cars, the same this, the same that, then you'd know who's the best. But because it's different eras, it all entails different things, things that Dad's had to deal with and Jeff have had to deal with. It's different to what Grandad dealt with. And Grandad wouldn't have had as much thinking to do in the car as far as switches and temperatures and all this, but he had to focus on his driving a hell of a lot more, because the limit that he had to get to, the fine line between death and being severely injured or staying on track, was very small, whereas now obviously it's a bit different. So I'm not going to say he's the best driver, but hopefully I can emulate some of the things that my granddad and my dad and everyone has done also.
You touched on emulating what your granddad's done then, but if you were to win a race under the Project Brabham name, how would you celebrate specifically?
It would mean a lot. Dad's driven a Brabham, obviously Granddad's driven a Brabham, and it would be a dream come true really to drive a Brabham also, and to win in a Brabham would mean a lot. And having seen the process from the start of just an idea to now where we are now, to having a car and driving it, it would mean a lot, and it would be a very, very, very special moment.
Brilliant. Now, moving on to some more general questions that our members would probably like to know. What road car do you drive?
A Vauxhall Corsa, unfortunately, but Vauxhall Corsa.
And obviously Christmas has just come round, and what did you get? Any specifically good present?
Well, my phone was up for an upgrade, so I had to pay for I paid for that myself, and then I got a few little bits and bobs from Mum and Dad and my brother and stuff like that.
And what do you like to do when you're not racing? Because obviously it's quite stressful, so how do you wind down?
Wind down is probably not the right word, I guess, but I'm at uni as well at Northampton doing sport and exercise science, and that's going well. And I play a lot of football for uni, and I'm always training it went up as much as possible. I want to be even though I'm not racing, I want to be as fit and as ready as I can be for when I do step in the car, so I can do a good job. So other than that, I enjoy watching sport. I can't get enough of it. I'll stay up late and watch the cricket in Australia and all these other things.
That's something I was planning to touch on actually, is the cricket. Obviously you're part English, part Australian, so when it comes down to the Ashes, who is your money on?
Unfortunately Australia. My brother plays a lot of cricket. He plays for county, and he supports, everyone supports Australia actually, which is quite odd, but I guess I am English, but I like to keep the heritage going as well, so I think Australia are a little bit better at the moment as well, which is quite nice.
And finally, just to finish, obviously there's lots of young drivers out there wanting to follow in your footsteps, so what advice would you give to them?
Just to always keep trying and to never give up, because I've been through a stage where I was racing and then I wasn't, and it took me a while to get to grips with not being out there, and I got down about it. And the moment I realised I shouldn't be down about it and just go, right, I'm just going to work as hard as I can to be in a race car, was the moment everything changed and everything started going a lot better. So it's all about not giving up, and if you have a dream, you have to go for it, because when you're a bit older and you've been doing something you don't quite want to do, try not to have any regrets. At the moment I don't have a regret about my racing. I've never regretted anything I've done, really. You have a few things, but I've never felt, I should have done this or I should have done that, because everything's a learning experience. Obviously you wish you're out there, but you've got to take as much as you can away from it, and then you'll be set.
Brilliant, thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, cheers.